lead. Listen. Been too long. No improvement or the movement in your song. Your whole generation now facing the mirror wrong. Black to reflection, introspection gone. No culture in your youth, no truth to move on. You stuck in that ratchet bracket, can't hack it and haul on. Or black or haul, y'all. They went from being kings and queens to being pawns, just to entertain. Up that stream with no paddle. Pimped by the game, never survived the battle. Lost divine names, now them shaking like a rattle. Gripped by infants insane, lost like Seattle. They shackled till they dazzle babble, till dead mammals in the gravel. We remembering, the past is remembering. The melanin assembled in your melanin, resembling the skeleton. Your Uber groover, never settled in the devil meddling. Forever represent past and the future for the betterment. True level regiment, writing New and Old Testaments. False narrative timelines can't blind my mind's measurement. Take a look back, find a lifeline development. No copying carbon elements. DNA are evidence of divine residence. Sankofa holder, past and present to the future molder in the present.
Too long, I'm missing you, baby.
Take a look back.
Been too long, I'm missing you, baby.
Sankofa.
Been too long, I'm missing you, baby. Been too long, I'm missing you, baby.
Sankofa.
Been too long.
Yo, I'm going back to flow forward. Seeing where I come from, the Nile flows northward. Been so long, Sankofa. What is the people who forget their culture? So the Akon and Watusi, Ben Undogan and the Shona, Medunatera, Amhari, are tuned to your persona. These words and these customs bring our memories intact. From Trinidad steel drums to smooth Anita Baker tracks. They told me go back and get it. You know that I was with it. The land of art and science, astronomic, golden liquid. Some said we ain't supposed to praise the stars. We still grow in shades of raw naturally. This Yimmy y'all feeds us everywhere we are. Not from idols that we bring. We knew and love the nature of the Most High and everything.
Been missing you, baby. Sankofa. Been missing you, baby. Sankofa. Been missing you, baby. Sankofa. Sankofa.
Been too long, I'm missing you, baby. 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 Been too long.
Martial Law Productions.
Been in denial. Dudes corny, dissing women wearing a body she style. You a customer, lucky that she put any trust in you. None of this shit would exist without sis. Don't you know we in the universe? The earth is an egg. We all need some TLC. I ain't too proud to beg. She is Venus, segment in my eye. Don't let a word of lunatics convince you that you're not. Righteousness begins with you. Smile of love from within. Our only friend showing compassion in a war world of men. Please don't act like them. Dudes ain't worthy examples. You are the joy and it's unfair. Your sensitivity's trampled. His illusion of strong got you feeling weak. You are the grace everlasting, mastery your technique. The mental world became physical, her black hole made the key. All set, I see, Ashe is she.
stars move, improving thrust of your divinity, nurturer, infancy, wisdom, infinity, merging holy trinity, art original officially, modern mitochondria, melanin consistency, model maker of antiquity, mother nature's never in iniquity. As a matter of fact, you my empress serendipity. Now picture particles of major articles telling future stories in the past audibles, and time and space replace the horrible diminished privilege with the vision of the village, raising black children as that God is God us image. Popping eyes wide like cans of spinach, enhanced past the scrimmage. Now do the deity dance out the trance of the pillage. Cause soon a black woman that's the realest, in the mood to soothe, to solve it till you feel us. Yeah, we the fellas with the fillers, pushing pillars as you heal us. I told you the goddess, that's what the deal is, huh?
There's no denying you are, you are, you are. God is goddess, God is goddess, God is goddess, God is goddess.
Black women birthing a national clan flick. More like Nat Turner mixed with the man Wick. Free like Harriet Tubman mixed with the side of the eye of the storm was rise. Oh yeah, Mami Wata, healing is water, but the soul is the fire. If she earth, then it's Gaia. Reality, the Maya. The magic in the fabric, the diamond facet. Angela Bassett yelling, show them who you are to chat with. The first and the last, get from birth to the casket. Beauty too real to mask it with silicone and plastic. Weaponized self-hate is drastic. I shine the sun, they can't hold a candle to flame, let alone match what they couldn't even fathom my depth, let alone match what they can't equate or know. Worldwide equator flow, we all return to earth when it's time to meet. I make it so God is, and it's not debatable.
Immortal. Yeah. Came out the portal, immortal into a human body. Wow. I've been existing way before the earth had Anunnakis. Intergalactical battles, intergalactical travels, infinitely going through stars. The universe will unravel all of its secrets. Peep it, I'm starting to leak it. Time for truth is coming, 100, it's time to seek it. Expanding my perception through the spectrum of light. I'm going in with spectrum and the shit's out of sight. We indigo children, yeah, we building frequencies through the ceiling. Penetrating through reality, a marvelous feeling. Regardless, we're healing these humans that be claiming we demonic. Really? The resonance goes over their heads, we super cosmic. The logic is ignorance mixed with fear in your thinking. My pineal gland is flooding, son, that shit don't be blinking. Sinking into your subconscious like a song with no words. The way I come up with these symbols of letters is absurd. Hey yo, my rhymes are like angelic beings. The shit is freeing, so pure that if you were born blind, I'll have you seeing. Breathing in a multi-dimensional light so captivating. Double helix is nonsense, so what I'm activating, feel the power from within, seeping right through my skin. From the earth into my feet as it goes up to my chin. It got me grinning, rotation like spirals, my music spinning. I told you that I don't be playing, still I'm always winning. Fibonacci to the haters, curve them right to the side. They don't understand the energy, it comes from inside. So inside is what I master, used to be a disaster. Now I'm gladly elevating to a whole new chapter. Yeah, I'm giving birth to a whole new style. I incarnated through New York, yeah, I rep Long Island. Don't get it twisted though, I'm truly repping this earth. I came to free all these humans and show you all what you're worth. Immortal. Yeah, raising your frequencies one soul at a time. As I pass this mic to my boy Spectrum, yo Spectrum, light that up, kid.
They tried to tell me I'm mortal, I told them I was immortal. They asked me what makes me different, I asked them what makes you normal. I just followed my morals and I unfollowed the formal. Hopped on a track with crews, now we straight cruising through portals. I download the Metatron, I'm reversing it till I'm dead and gone. If you think I'm dope, you said it wrong. Not trying to flex, but I'm hella strong. Mine did things you never seen. When I say mine, you know what I mean. I'm the most when I'm in my mode, and y'all average is like the mean. I really didn't mean to go intervene. I'm the middleman, chilling in between. You should do the math, we ain't keeping score. But I just hit a 3.14. I cook it up, make it look easy as pie. I'm moving in silence and seeing the sign. I am the G. If you remove me, all you gon' see is your sins. This is a big game of sins. The simulation is breaking again. I'm taking control, creating my soul. And if the truth fits, I'm breaking it in. Breaking it. All I really know is that I'll never know. I've been here for forever, don't know when to go. I think that indicates that I'm an indigo. In that case, I'm in the go. Green light, my heart, chakra booming. Solar plexus, Lexus zooming. You assuming that I'm human. I'm just being what you doing. I've been teaching teachers frequently. It's apparent I'm a parent when it comes to raising frequencies. The way I'm living life, I haven't rest in peace recently. Immortal with my technique, but my ego dying easily. Death is teasing me by leaving me with DMT. Now it seems to me that everything I see is seeing me. Life is just an infinite circle with a twist. I used to wanna be like them, now they do not exist. Immortal.
Peace and wholeness to the space, everyone. Welcome to Aligning with the Evolving Cycles of Time, Knowledge, Empowerment session. Ashe, y'all, please do me the honor and let me know in the chat that you're hearing my voice clearly. You know, it could be coming through kind of choppy sometimes, and let me know where you're coming in from. Let us know. If you don't know your kin number, let us know. Definitely get that to you. If you are hearing me, right. Much gratitude to you, Goddess Robin, for that confirmation. Just let me know if I'm coming through choppy, and then I'll dial in from my phone. We are here it is a bit choppy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, tap in through the phone. Thank you, Ken 87 and Ken 23. I'm going to go ahead and log in from my phone because, sometimes it just want to trip like that, depending on the frequencies that we're bringing into the space. So give me one moment in time, and we're going to make this happen. Ashe. Mute my laptop so it don't come through with that frequency sound. All right. And this one. Okay. Is that much better? Y'all let me know. That's much better. We doing good. We're in business now, right? Give thanks. All right. Peace and wholeness. Again, we are here on Ken 2, the white lunar wind. Ashe, plasma 2 of the new galactic spin. Ashe. Oh, it was beautiful last evening when we brought in the chant call for the the red dragon, Ken 1. But here we are now on Aligning with the Evolving Cycles to speak about the spirit being. Yours truly is going to bring the foundation, and then we're going to have the oracle reading by Moon Goddess Ambrosia, Kin 181, the Crystal Dragon. And then featured speaker for this evening, Brother of Moon, is going to bring in the word today. Ashe, Ken 85. Y'all stay here. I want y'all to make sure y'all go ahead and get your notes out, okay? Get your pens and your papers out, because definitely, I'm telling you, it's going to be a word for the day. Ashe. So let's get this show on the road. I am Priestess Moot Mayat Nefer Habibullah of the Melanated Immortals Priesthood. I'm Ken 178, the White Solar Mirror. And my affirmation is I pulse in order to reflect, realizing order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with the solar tone of intention, and I am guided by the power of timelessness. And it's definitely my honor and my pleasure to be with each and every one of us this dawning. It's a beautiful dawning. Oh, yeah. All right, so let's keep it moving. We're now here in that moment in time where we're going to prepare ourselves for our universal decree of divine activation. Ashe. So find yourselves in a comfortable position, and I will be right back. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe. Oh, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. We stand as divine consciousness, living expressions of the infinite source of all creation. We remember, we activate, we command harmony, balance, and evolution. Our thoughts plant seeds, our emotions carry living waters, our words create vibration, our actions bring manifestation. We plant clarity, we plant healing, we plant abundance. We establish divine order upon the earth. All fear dissolves, all confusion dissolves, all limitation dissolves. Immortal health awakens, immortal wisdom awakens, immortal wealth awakens. Peace expands within us and throughout the earth. We honor the ancestors, the elders, the children, and the sacred balance of the divine feminine and divine masculine. Through thought, we plant. Through emotion, we charge. Through vibration, we align. Through word, we command. Through action, we manifest. The everlasting legacy is established. Ashe to the mind, ashe to the body, ashe to the spirit, ashe to the earth, ashe to the cosmos, ashe, 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 oh. Ashe, ashe, asheo. Much gratitude for each and every one of us showing up for ourselves and for the universe this dawning. We are Melanated Immortals making evolutionary changes, and our mission is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of divine frequency beings with immortal health and immortal wealth through the application and the remembrance of cosmic knowledge. And so now we have come down to that part of this plasma where I, as your host and your presenter, will be bringing to you the foundation of what it is that we do here in this space. Ashe. So this is where you might want to get your pens and papers out, so that we can definitely tune in to all that we are this plasma. Ashe, Ashe. This here outline speaks to The Zoken is going to speak to the Kinergy. It's going to speak to our body. It's going to speak to our human holons and our planetary holons. And then we're going to dive into the actual moon that we are now in. If you know what that moon is, go ahead and put it in the chat. Okay, what moon we're in, go ahead and put that in the chat. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and dive on into this space. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. So I'm gonna pull up these slides. All right, we are on the within the red dragon wave spell. Ashe on Kin 2. If you would please, let's read this affirmation together, and then I'll give you a little bit added extra to that right afterwards. So let's do this together with the I, the you, and the we. I polarize in order to communicate. Stabilizing breath. I seal the input of spirit with the lunar tone of challenge, and I am guided by the power of timelessness. You polarize in order to communicate. Stabilizing breath. You seal the input of spirit with the lunar tone of challenge, and you are guided by the power of timelessness. We polarize in order to communicate, stabilizing breath. We seal the lunar tone of challenge with the with the lunar tone of challenge with and we are guided by the power of timelessness. Wait, we seal the input of spirit. That's where I was with the lunar tone of challenge, and we are guided by the power of timelessness. So, what we have today, right? As kin two is that the wind is teaching us to first challenge. The challenge is often not outside of us. It begins with how we breathe and how we speak and how we respond, right? So being that wind carries spirit, as we just read, communication and breath, as we just read, the lunar tone is bringing in that challenge and that polarity and stabilization. So in real life terms, we ask ourselves, can I stay centered when I'm challenged? Or can my words carry spirit instead of a reaction? So we're being supported in our whole body, this plasma, by Kin 54, our spirit guide, the white lunar wizard, right? And it is bringing us our timelessness and receptivity. Kin 197 is the red lunar earth, which is actually supporting our physical body, okay? And through this navigation and synchronicity, bringing truth to it all. And so then we have Kin 132, the yellow lunar human, which brings our mental into challenge. It turns into our gifts, and then we begin to use that wisdom as our free will. Then we have as our emotional body, Kin 259, the blue crystal storm, that is actually holding the hidden emotional power of purification, transformation, and renewal. So if you like to, you can answer bef- um, before I go any further or before you say anything. Am I breathing from reaction or am I breathing from spirit? Ashe, Ashe. So we have our Zocan calendar in this space, all right? And in this space, Kin 2, as you see, where the big red star is, sits at the very beginning of this new 260 plasma sacred cycle, and inside the actual first wave spell, right? That means that this energy that we're in, and if y'all were on that chant call last night, High Priestess definitely brought it in for us, and I definitely want to give honor to her for her commitment and dedication to all that it is that we are about and are doing in MIMEC. We here in this foundational wave spell, we're not at the end gathering wisdom like we were last heptad. We are at the beginning learning how to move correctly from the start, okay? Setting the foundation. Imagine laying bricks or the foundation of a house. You don't want everything to be spaced out. You want it to be nice and smooth. You don't want roots coming up and cracking the foundation, right? So we got to make sure everything is laid out as it should be from the start, so we don't have issues to fall into, later on down the line. So Ken 1 said life begins. Now Ken 2 is saying let's stabilize the breath so life can move in balance. This is why the white lunar wind is so freaking powerful, this plasma, because it's teaching us that every single new beginning will actually meet a challenge. Y'all hear that? Every single new beginning will meet a challenge. And the first medicine is the conscious communication that we put into it, or within, or behind it. So, what new beginning in our life or in your life needs calmer breath, or just needs you to breathe through it, right? Clearer words or deeper spiritual listening in and of the same. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. So we have here our tones, our body, and our chakra, and the radial plasmas that we're going to be moving through today. I want y'all to take a look at this. And if you don't mind, we're on the lunar tone. Who knows what tone the lunar is? Ashe, what tone is it? Let me see. What tone is the lunar tone? Ooh, I hope y'all hearing me. There we go. Thank you very much. It's the second tone. And in the body, it's the right knee. All right. The knee is helping, it helps us to bend, it helps us to stand stable, it helps us to adjust and pivot, right? When you want to go left, when you want to go right, all of that. It literally, the knee, it helps to keep us moving. So our right knee becomes a living reminder. It's the challenge is not that it's not here to stop us, right? But the challenge is here to teach us how we stand, how we bend, how we move with balance in all that it is that we do. We know that our knees are here to help us balance life. And today, also with Limi, okay, because we're here on this Friday, Dawn and Limi. What I want you to do at this time is take your middle finger, okay? Take your middle finger and your thumb and connect them to each other. All right? These two are helping to remind us that our free will is at hand. Ashe. So now, place your hand on your solar plexus, and then the other one on your right knee. All right. Bringing awareness to your solar plexus and your right knee, because Limi represents the solar plexus. And the center of confidence is right here at our solar plexus, our direction, because we've already stated our knees give us that direction and our personal power. Then take a deep breath into any and everything that you think weakens your clarity. Then I want you to release any divided thoughts, any fears, any confusions, and any doubts that you may have. And with that, purify your inner fire so that the words of your mouths, your choices, and any actions that you perform or that you do can literally stand in integrity. Because today, we're not going to react from imbalance. We are going to respond from power, from purpose, and from purified thought. That's what we're working with our knee, our right knee. That's what we're working with our solar plexus and limi and our radial plasmas, ashe. All right, so now let's move into our whole line. In this human whole line, we see the 20 solar seals are placed on our fingers, right? And then also in our 10 toes. These represent the 20 solar seals in our body, showing us that the body is actually part of the calendar that we follow, the Zolkin calendar. And so for Kin 2, we're going to focus on the white wind. If you see where that white wind is, it's on the right hand and the middle finger. All right. The right hand is how we act, is how we touch, is how we give and we create and we write and we send messages. Some people might text and extend energy into the world. That middle finger. You know, some people think that the index finger is how they extend energy into the world, but no, you know, pointing with that middle finger really ain't got no power to it. It's the one that's the longest one that reaches furthest. So the white wind on that right finger in that hand teaches us communication is not only spoken, that is also in what we write, what we build, what we touch, and how we respond. The middle finger can remind us to stay aligned in the center before we react. So take that middle finger and put it with your thumb. This is a mudra. You can do it with both hands if you want to. Your middle finger and your thumb like this. Okay? All right. And if you want to, you can go ahead. You see where the second is right at the heart. Put that middle finger and that thumb right at the heart where you see the two tones. All right. Put them at your heart because the middle finger is your balance, your responsibility, and your center. And then the thumb represents the direction and the will and your conscious choices that you're making. And so when you put this here in position on your human holon, all right, what you're saying is you're bringing your thoughts under the guidance of your higher will. Ashe. So if you want to, you can practice that throughout this plasma. Well, not practice, but you know, perform it or do it, you know, as a remembrance of what it is that you're putting out, you're building, what direction you're talking about going into, you know, and so on and so forth. All right. So then we're going to move into our planetary holon. And so if you notice where the white wind is located is in Southeast Asia, right? You see that? The white wind is in Southeast Asia. Earth is seen as a living body. And with the solar seals placements across the lands, the white wind is actually where I just stated, reminding us that breath, spirit, and communication are not only personal, but they are planetary. So we get a lot of communication coming from the Asian continents. Ashe, a lot of our technical devices, a lot of our, you know, products and manufactured over in Asia and so on and so forth. But when we work with the white wind and the earth, we're actually asking the question, what kind of breath am I contributing to the world? So if you're a white wind today, you know, we got some work to do, but we are one. So that means each and every one of us are representing the white wind, this plasma. So what words am I releasing into the field? When you speak, are you speaking healing? Are you speaking building? Are you speaking wisdom? Are you speaking free will? You know, think about all of that. Am I adding confusion or am I adding clarity to what it is? So, taking one conscious breath for Southeast Asia, go ahead and do that with me. Inhale for the waters, inhale for the people, inhale for the ancestors, inhale for the land, and inhale for the future, because we got an amazing 260 coming for us. Ashe, ashe. Just bring it on home with that last inhale. Speak one word today. Trust me when I tell you, it's going to be powerful. Bringing in that peace, bringing in that clarity, and bringing in the healing to everything that it is that we are. Ashe. So we're going to talk about our lunar moon. Yes, thank y'all for getting that right in the chat. We're in the lunar moon now. What is our challenge? This is the question of the moon. What is my or our or yours challenge, right? It's not a question of fear, is actually a question of growth, because I love the message behind that. Whatever we face, whatever challenges we face, they literally become our gift. Okay? Face your challenges not out of fear. When I was in physical therapy, my therapist says, don't fear the pain, respect the pain. Right? And so whenever I respected the pain, I was able to breathe through it and move and stretch a little bit further than if I sat up there and said, it hurt. It hurt too much. I can't do this. I can't, no, I'm not ready. Instead, I respected the pain, right? And it became my gift because I have my flexibility back. So the red heptad that we are in, the initiation and view heptad, that's the first heptad that we're in. It is the heptad where we begin to see what needs need to be faced or named or stabilized for this heptad. So I hope that you've taken that time to realize what it is that you need to set the course for this lunar moon of what is your challenge. Then we have our totem animal, which is the scorpion. Okay, which teaches protection, discernment, sensitivity, and transformation. The scorpion does not waste energy at all. Come on, think about what they do. You know, it moves with awareness. It reminds us to be careful with our reactions and careful with our words. And then has what? And is powerful with it teaches us to be powerful with our boundaries. Ashe, ashe. So with Ken 2 being here in the first heptide, our challenge is to purify our communication, stabilize our breath, and let spirit guide our responses through, in, and throughout each and every single thing that we choose to do this plasma or choose to speak into existence this plasma as we initiate our views. Ashe. So I want to leave y'all with a closing reflection, um, asking yourselves, what is my challenge teaching me? instead of reacting? Or can I breathe before I react? Or can my words become medicine instead of defense in and through every single thing that we choose to do? Those are some things to consider this plasma as you go through kin 2, the white lunar wind. Ashe, Ashe, and Asheo. It was definitely my honor and pleasure bringing the foundation to us. Hopefully, you were able to grab a hold to some things like the hold-ons and how you're going to respond to your body in this plasma. All right, so we're going to now read our creed for the white wind archetype, the high priestess. And it reads as thus: I am the high priestess, coded by the white wind. I enter your universe through the second light gate. My number is 2, the challenge of the wind as it turns in every direction. Harnessing the power of the word, let your tongue speak only what is glorious. This is my challenge to you for the Lady of the Winds, keeper of the mind tunnels opened through crystal song. From my crown, my hair emerges as the top knot of the spirit of prophecy. I harnessed the energy of breath, filling the body with vitality. The jewel on my forehead is the indestructible wisdom of illumination. My every thought sent by divine decree, my command is always directed to your spirit essence alone. Listen for me always when the wind arises from nowhere. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe. Oh, much gratitude. Give thanks to each and every one of us. Now, oh, govern yourselves for the announcements, which I just realized it didn't upload into the space. So let me grab those right quick. Pull in these announcements for aligning with the cycles, and boom, we are now far beyond August the 19th. All right, here we go. I hope these are the right ones. Peace and wholeness. Daily awake, I am today. Daily acknowledges the act of God empowering me to breathe. Alive I am today represents more time to live, move, and have my being. Amazing I am shows the wonders of light shining on my face. Healed from afflictions, distractions, and manipulations of this world. Strong I am today as the sun shines, wind blows and rain falls, reminding me to stand each test time. Wise as I am today to see the truth that face value and walk with confidence, knowing.
Heptads of weed, daily supplies. Heptads of weed, daily supplies. It's the weed that the blood flow. Heptads of weed. Daily plasma.
All right, all right. Peptides a week, dailies of plasma. Thank us all for um, tuning in to those announcements. We wanted to remind us that just this strong in high priestess is out there working the works. She's still out doing her tours. I believe she's headed to Philly, sitting in for an event up there with Queen Afua, visiting with some of our connections in the space. She's en route or preparing to be en route. Either way it goes, we want to make sure we keep her energy in our hearts and our minds as we continue to get the word out to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population. Definitely, if you want to take advantage of getting these, when I tell you, they are the real deal yoga mats. Definitely make sure you visit the site, get it today. When you do purchase one of these packages, you will receive one, two, three, four, or all four of the her books, her published books, and definitely we want to make sure that y'all are in the space to receive the plethora of knowledge and activations that she's been doing in the spaces of where she's been visiting. So we now have our Melanated Immortals membership tiers available to each and every one of us. This is going to be essential to all that it is that we're doing to evolve as Melanated Immortals, and to stay, afloat and in flow with what we're doing. There are 6 levels that you can tap into and join. The Explorer level is like today. We have our live streamings. You just go to YouTube, and you can tap in like that. But then when you step up your game into your evolution or evolving into your purpose, you can tap into the engager, which is the doorway where you'll receive classes, the 13 tones or the natural basics course, along with some additional discounts on products from the Meta Shop, and or discounts on future classes and so forth for only $17. You definitely beating the value of the 13 tones class. Going forward, if you see, we got the seeker, we got the integrator, and the divine. And when I tell you the class value, the offers, the value of the packages themselves, the tiers themselves, is a steal, literally a steal. If you even pay outright the whole amount up front, you're only paying for 10 moons as opposed to the 13 moons at the base cost. So you're definitely getting a savings on top of a savings on top of a savings for all that it is that you're getting. So make sure you visit melanatedimmortals.com, get your membership. Trust me, there will be limitations moving forward for all new people coming into the space. But if you're one of those who knows the value of what we're doing here, go ahead, get that all inclusive. You have the opportunity to make 2 payments of 800 or pay outright at 1500, and that's like everything and all the other packages that you will receive for that miraculous deal. You really can't beat that if you think you're just going to pay for a class here and pay for a class there. No, you would have really with wet womb evolution technique, levels 1 and 2 all by itself is that 1500. So we also have upcoming the 8th annual melanin frequency convergence. The 1 day cost is only $88 if you want to come just for that. I think it's the Saturday. But if you need a bed to sleep in, we definitely would hope that you would plan to be there from the 18th through the 20th with us all for this fall equinox event in the Blue Ridge Mountains. When I tell you, you can't beat the views, you can't beat the environment, you definitely can't beat the energy that's going to be put out. So if you have not already RSVP'd, you only got a few plasmas left before a couple of heptads before we're actually going to be in the space. But I believe there's a couple of spaces left. So if you want to come, definitely reach out, or email, or yeah, RSVP. Let us know what you want to do at melanatedimmortals.com/events. Then we definitely want to make sure we give honor to our Orisha Stone, the Sky Serpent, for partnering with us with his jewels and artifacts and collections that we are showing and selling on our Melanated Immortal Meta Shop. I'm telling you, these products, there's no products, these jewels, these artifacts sell quick. So we want you to make sure you get out there. I got one on today, y'all. My orange jade, orange jade dragon right here with my jewels in there, and I wear it close to my heart. So definitely want to make sure you tap in and get yours. He will even custom make for you. Okay, so reach out at or cash app him at Mansa Musa Stone, or you can definitely support him on IG and YouTube at Orisha Stone. Ashe. So now we're coming time for our oracle reading. I'm going to bring in Moon Goddess, Priestess Initiate, Moon Goddess Ambrosia, our fifth force oracle, Kin 181, the red crystal dragon. So get your notes out, tune in, and I'll be back.
Peace, wholeness, and divine blessings. I am Moon Goddess Ambrosia, the Fifth Force Oracle, and I'm here to share the cosmic oracle reading of evolution. This is a collective reading where we get to tap into the destiny oracle for the kin of this plasma. And I just want to thank you all for being present, for being open-minded and open-hearted to the oracle reading, as well as those that are here supporting MIMEC, as well as Moon Goddess and the Healing Arts, and Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment. And so we want to prepare ourselves before we get into the oracle reading by us aligning ourselves or allowing ourselves to look at it from the mindset of a synchronaut. A synchronaut is a person that travels synchronicities. And so I have put together a affirmation, should I say, that that explains the 3 steps to awakening the mindset of a synchronaut. Excuse me. Excuse me. 3 steps to awakening to the mindset of a synchronaut. And so it states that I am, you are, and we are living expressions of divine synergy in motion, remembering my and our divine purpose so that we can consciously create sacred expressions and fulfill our soul's mission in all spaces of natural time. And so, by us aligning to this mindset or to this perspective, this helps us to see that the energy that we embody is like that of us being inside of a mode of transportation, aka our body, or we could see our innermost being as an astronaut traveling space. And so Uh, this particular heptad, I would love to invite you all to focus on the first line of us being living expressions of divine synergy in motion. This helps us to tap into the innermost parts of who we are. It's us before we even get into the vehicle and start moving, right? And so, as this living expression, we all embody a unique kinergy. And so, that is also known as your galactic signature. And so, if you are new to the space and you do not know your kin number, feel free to reach out to myself and or to MIMEC or anyone that invited you to the session or to this platform, so that you can find out what your kin number is. And so, for those that know their kin number, I want to invite you to grab it. I want you to pull it up, or get prepared to recite it. As we do this, I want us to speak it out loud. I want you to feel the truth of each word resonating within your body. Also, pay attention to what stands out to you in your affirmation. Pay attention to any sensations that you may feel in your body as well, because that may be an indication as to something that needs to be brought to your awareness. And so, how we're going to state this, we're going to say, as a living expression of, then you're going to say your kin number and its name, and then move into your galactic signature / affirmation. So, for example, I am kin 181, the red crystal dragon. And so I would say that as a living expression of kin 181, the red crystal dragon, I dedicate myself, and then etc. And so we're going to take a moment just to pause. I'm going to pause myself. I'm going to be quiet here on the back end, just to give us that space and opportunity to focus in on our signature. And so let's go ahead and say our affirmations. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe-yo. Much love and gratitude to all of you for joining me in stating your affirmation. By us doing so, this allow us to combine and unify our collective creativity, our creative frequencies to act in that collective harmony. And so I appreciate you for just taking out that moment and opportunity to align yourself with your kin affirmation and also put your frequency into this reading as we move forward. And so let's go ahead and move forward here by the white lunar wizard. The archetype, or this position that the archetype sits in, it helps us to um, see how to guide ourselves to practice directing this focus of communicating, how we nurture ourselves. And so the spirit guide is saying, okay, when you sit and breathe and tune into your body, let's stabilize being receptive to what insights come through. So that means we got to allow ourselves to be open-minded. Also, it says to enchant timelessness. And so sometimes we may not feel like we reach the clarity that we needed or received the answers or insights that we needed, because we may be operating from being concerned about time. Basically we need to allow ourselves, or it will help us to give ourselves some time, be in that timelessness space. sometimes those downloads and insights are not going to come to you right away. However, if you truly tap in and enchant that timelessness and allow yourself to be open to receive the insights, that is where you will be able to, stabilize that receptivity and be aware of, certain practices that you may be inspired to do to be in alignment with, making sure that you are nurturing yourself and communicating, So on this plasma is, I would encourage you all to truly take some time, create space in this time to breathe, you know, just tap into your birth space, sit somewhere by yourself, it don't even have to be a long period of time. You could do it within like 10 minutes or so. It's just more so about enchanting that timelessness, and that'll help you to bring more stability to you being receptive. And so the spirit guide is guiding us towards what I call the sacred harvest. And so this will represent, that sacred expression that we are here to embody and exemplify. And so that sacred harvest will lead us towards, if you look in the top right, towards the energy of Kin 124, which is dope because that is the last solar cycle that we just evolved out of. And so, well, I'll say before this 13 moon calendar started. And so, essentially, when we allow ourselves to stabilize our receptivity and, connect with this destiny oracle, what it's going to do is inspire us to be aware of ourselves and also open up that door to see what our target is, to see what it is that we want to flower and to bloom. So when we channel this endlessness, it's also going to help us to be present and loyal to what's in our hearts. Ashe? All right. So I like to look at it from that perspective because it helps us to see what's the point of us tapping into the Destiny Oracle. It shows us how we're being guided and what essentially is, going to be culminated. Excuse me. What is going to be culminated or be that outward expression. So remember, the point of this is to target what we want to flower by being aware of, being aware. And so let's now jump into the rest of the Destiny Oracle. And let's start with, so it's different ways that you can connect with this, depending on how you may be, or what you may be experiencing or feeling right now. You might want to, jump in with at the emotional body, or you might want to jump in with the mental body. If you got a lot of thoughts in your mind, or you can jump in from the physical body, and use your physical experience as a way or a gateway into reflecting on, this question. So you can even see, like, okay, when it comes to nurturing yourself, where is your challenge at? Is it in your emotions? Is it mentally? Or is it related to your physical experiences or your physical body? And so that I'm gonna leave that up to you. You could come back and listen to this, or as you're taking your notes now, that'll help you to point you in a good direction. So it's not like one concrete way to connect with the Destiny Oracle. However, what I'll do is I'm gonna move in the order of red, white, blue, and yellow. Okay, so just to keep it simple in that way. Actually, all right, just flow with me. I don't think I'm gonna do it that way. I'm gonna start with the physical body though. So here on the right in the physical body position, this is talking about our physical body as well as our external experiences. So this is just whatever we see on the physical plane. And so this supports our focus. And so being that we have the red lunar earth here, the question that this position is helping us to, create that alignment is, it's basically going to show us how to look at our life experiences and see what is being reflected, and also, how our life is being reflected, and then also what influence do we have on these reflections. So basically, it's meant to reflect back to us like what we're internalizing from our experiences, how we make our decisions to act, and how we choose to show up and live. And so that brings back to what I was encouraging us to focus on, which is us being living expressions of this Kenergy. And so bringing it back specifically to this Destiny Oracle, we have the red lunar earth. So it's going to support us in holding the focus by encouraging us to bring stability to the synchronicities that we're noticing so that we can evolve the way that we're navigating in our experiences. So say for example, you're having a challenge in getting enough rest, because that's really important, and I'm sure a lot of us can can relate to that, and that's personally one of mine. So getting enough rest. So when we reflect on our experiences and reflect on our body, first thing you're going to notice is your body. You're going to be feeling tired. Secondly, in your experience, you may notice that um you might not be able to focus a certain way, or you just feel tired by doing too much, right? And so this helps us to look at it, to look at the synchronicities. It's like, okay, what am I producing? What am I creating in my experiences that make me feel tired? Okay. So again, this could be in regards to anything. So when we bring stability to these synchronicities, that's what's going to help us to evolve the way that we navigate. And so, the answer that this can bring us to is, all right, let me get some rest. Let me stop feeling like I gotta go above and beyond and do all this stuff, right? So when we balance that out, that's also going to help us to nurture ourselves and be able to communicate it. So another way to show up is, you'll say, yeah, you might start telling people, nah, I need to get some rest. I can't do that today. You know what I'm saying? Or, it has an influence on how you communicate the ways that you need to nurture yourself so that you can navigate through your experiences. And so when we do that, or when we reflect on our physical experience, we gotta, of course, stabilize our receptivity, enchant that timelessness. Sometimes we gotta just check in with ourselves. And so once we check in with ourselves, we can now move over to the mental body, which does represents the challenge. Or I don't want to leave it to, it just representing the challenges, but through us holding the focus, it helps us to overcome the challenges. It helps us to strengthen our mindset and the way that we make decisions, that's going to open up and even strengthen the way that we show up in our gift. So, for example, me being a nurturer, if I notice that, I'm doing all of these things and I'm not nurturing myself, I'm like, okay, let me strengthen my gift to nurture and start by nurturing myself. Ashe? All right. And so we have the yellow lunar human in the mental body, and uh, it's helping us to bring balance to it by stabilizing our wisdom, knowing that we have an influence on our own free will. So, again, if you're not getting enough rest, stabilize your wisdom and get some rest, right? Or whatever the case may be, whatever challenges you're experiencing, recognize that you have the free will to influence how you show up and how you nurture yourself, how you communicate. And when you tap into that wisdom, that's what's going to bring, again, that stability. And so, last but not least, down below, this represents the position of the emotional body. The emotion. Oh, hold on, wait. Let me go back real quick. One other thing I want to say about the mental body is, a good question to like pinpoint where you may be feeling these challenges at is by looking at what aspects or perspectives you may be being challenged to shift within your mindset. So, like, for example, me as a nurturer, if I feel like, if I'm thinking like, oh, I got to nurture everybody and everything, then I'm going to be trying to do all of that. So that will present to me, okay, let me shift my mindset on this. Let me make sure I nurture myself so that I can show up. You know what I'm saying? And so, whatever challenges you're experiencing, that can also help you to shift your mindset. And so, last but not least, let's get to the emotional body. We have the blue crystal storm that sits here. The emotional body, I would explain it as like the fuel in your car. That's what's going to get you moving and, taking action. And so we have the blue crystal storm here, which, before I talk about the crystal storm, the emotional body is, so when you pay attention to your emotions, when it comes to this focus, pay attention to what energy is stirring up with you on an emotional level, because these emotions are revealing something to you about what you're experiencing. Okay? All right. So now let's talk about how the blue crystal storm is cultivating or guiding us in this type of reflection. So it talks about universalizing the energy. So that means making your energy universal. So it's not just about putting it out into the universe. You also got to embody it within yourself. That's also a part of universalizing it, because it's within you and it's outside of you as well. So the blue storm is encouraging us to catalyze this energy within ourselves so that we can generate the energy that we embody. Ashe. So just like the example I was using, if as me being a dragon, let me generate this nurturing energy within my own self and universalize it. Ashe. So essentially, this is encouraging us to keep our cups full, keep being divine frequency beings, keep being the living expression of your energy, and cultivate that within yourself so that you can see how to bring stability to the different challenges that you're experiencing or maybe experiencing or think you're experiencing. Because look, some of this stuff is an illusion, but it's still real. We still have these real experiences, right? And so, just remember that as you tap into this destiny oracle, the goal is to inspire your awareness so that you can recognize what your target is that you are seeking to flower and bloom. And so with that, I am going to conclude this oracle reading for us on this plasma. And again, happy new galactic spin. I'm definitely excited to see what this new cycle brings out in myself and also in all of you. And so with that, take a moment to grab a screenshot of this, as this is one of the readings that I offer I offer through MIMEC and also on my site. But if you're here and showing up, definitely take a look at it through MIMEC. And this is a galactic profile chart. This is an extension of the oracle readings that I do on as a collective. So different ways that you can get a reading. You can get one similar to this oracle reading, or I can create a whole galactic profile chart for you. Ashe. And so with that, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself. Reach out to anyone in MIMEC, and we will be there to support and guide you and, build community with you all. And so with that, I love y'all. In Lakesh, Allah Ken. May that you enjoy your creation in every single moment of now. And so I shall talk to y'all on the next session. Peace.
Peace to you. Much gratitude, Moon Goddess. Thank you so much for bringing us that oracle reading. I hope y'all took notes. I hope your questions were answered. And so definitely give honor to Brother Akil for his time and dedication. And I've already given thanks to High Priestess, but definitely to everyone that's a part of making this aligning with the evolving cycles whole. So now we're going to introduce Brother Amun. Okay, I I could call him Baba Amun. Um, He is a Baba. And he's also Ken 85. He's a man of great wisdom. He's bringing us brotherly love, being the key to the resonance and all that. That was like the message that he sent to me, and it resonated with me. But what I want y'all to know about him is he is definitely a visionary leader. He is a go-getter. He is an alchemist. He's definitely a creator. He's a man of sound, vibration, spoken word, poetry, music, whether if he's playing it with his hands or he's speaking it from his mouth, he's definitely a enlightenment advocate. He goes everywhere and spreads the word. Okay, when I tell you the word is real and it is sound. And so I just give thanks for his energy, for the love that he gives to all, and then also for his dedication to Mimic. So without further ado, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit of his inspirational sound to intro him into the space.
Yeah, from the dark to the light, I ought to feel the spark every time I march with a tribe of peacemakers down with anonymous ties. You'll be often surprised, the peak in the war in his mind, unique to my corpse, the deceased, and the portion of me is too raw to define. Yeah, that's when the stars get aligned. Walk by my side to be a target, a guide, and what it's hard to describe, boy, back it up, yeah. I'm too grown and up, yeah. I'm amongst the infinite space that is up above,
Man,
yeah.
never subject to a subject. I'm not an object, I object to the perception that to be the one I gotta be an image of less than pure honesty. Ironically motivated to stay real. Sometimes it be hard to translate what should come from within, to be shared in a world of disillusion and men who will perpetrate an image of a life not true. Motivated be a menace, but that's just not you.
Reject my views and address lies you provided. The misalignment sense of knock me child to the core. My moves and sense of
Good day, good day, good day. Peace, love, healing, wholeness, balance, grace, guidance, wisdom, truth, flow, abundance, newness. I am Baba Amun, Amun Scorpius Ray, Amun Ray Huta, Ken 85, Red Resonant Serpent. And yes, I channel in order to survive, inspiring instinct. I seal the store of life force, the resonant tone of attunement. I'm guided by the power of navigation. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. Aligning with the cycles. Here we are, y'all. Like we seeing the challenge, man. We here, right? This is Ken 2 of the new galactic spin. It's Ken 2. What are you kin to, right? You know, we here we are. We melanated immortals. What are we kin to? We kin to the cosmos. You know what I mean? As a resonant red serpent, a big part of my dialogue will always be, what is the resonance that comes along with our interpretation of the words and sounds that we're even using to convey these concepts? Because the bridge between the one and the two is that right there is knowledge and wisdom. What are you acknowledging, and how much do you embrace that which you acknowledge in order to become an exercise of what? Of right action, right? So we know 2 is wisdom. 2 is the wisdom degree. White, lunar, wind. What it say? I polarize in order to communicate, stabilizing breath. I seal the input of spirit with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of timelessness. Now, come on. I mean, the power of timelessness. I know we had these conversations and we use these terms a lot, but give yourself a second to really ponder, what is timelessness? What is it? Right? What is time? Like all the worry about time, right? Like some people who can't be in this conversation right now, the number one reason why they're not in the conversation is because they don't have time. But that's really not true. That's not true. They do have time. They just haven't acknowledged the power of timelessness, meaning making space. And so the creative power, right? when we tell people, even when we mention mimic to people who aren't with this, right? And you start off with melanated immortals, that alone, just that concept alone of being a melanated immortal, that in and of itself is you making space. I make space to acknowledge myself as creative power, right? So we talk about the lunar, we talk about the challenge. That's the challenge right there off top. To just go ahead and say, I got space for this. I have space to deal with words like timelessness, right? So knowledge is the knowledge, the power of now. So if you're dealing with the now ledge, and that's two separate things, the now and the ledge, well, what is the ledge? Well, I would say the now is primary time, essential time. And then the ledge is reality, right? That's the world other than the primary nowness of our central being, right? Of our galactic core, right? That is in us and everywhere at once, right? But then there's the receiver. Who's receiving it? That's the second. Those of y'all who are hearing me right now, the beautiful thing about timelessness is that it pulls the second into the first, right? That's vortex time, right? I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me, right? When I say enter, I say enter, right? Because it's all one force of nature, hence the name Amun, right? It's all in the all, rolling up into one, right? But yeah, the power, what's the power of timelessness? Oh, that's the vortex. That's the power of timelessness. That's the vortex. When you show up with this inspiration, right? We talk about the power of spirit, right? We talk about that inspiration. When you show up with your inner spiral spinning, anything that spins generates a magnetic field. So in this galactic spin with these affirmation, this inspiration, this information, informaat atan, right? When you're working with this energy field and you're dealing with these exercises of yourself, oh, that energy, that kanum force, right? The potter at the wheel, everything spinning from the beginning. You working from that power, that inspiral, inspiration, that inner spiral spinning. You are vortexercising your primary, essential, first force into the secondary realm, right? So before I dive mega deep, because you know I go, white lunar wind is very special to me. my mother, my mother is white lunar wind. I am a red resonant serpent child born from the womb of a mother who is white lunar wind. High priestess Ma'at be knowing and in such a sweet conscious and super conscious subconscious flow. And I love building with our high priestess because it really matches that divine instinct for how I am a conductor for the Supreme Spirit. Now, on top of that, my oldest son's mother is kin 22. Mother of my firstborn son is kin 22. And she is a white solar wind. So white wind has been mega matriarchal force in my life in 3D. Before I even knew this Olmec cosmology conversation, before I had the definition, it was already delivering me and then me again into this realm. So it's real like that for me. You know what I mean? White lunar wind. Let's build into some words here. White, the word white. Oh goodness, the word white gets so stacked up in our reality. But the beauty of us coming in our all white when we go to ceremony, right? But then there's this contrast, right? Because then there's the black and white thing, right? Black people and white people. Well, realistically, harshly, and understanding the challenge that comes along with this here, black people are having a challenge with W height people. See, it's all resonant. Those people ain't really W at a height. And you're not really a being at lack. However, if people continue to resonate at that frequency because what they call themselves, then they are calling that form of themselves. They are calling that inspiration. And the lunar time, the lunar tick, the secondary time has them living in not actuality, but reality. So people are second guessing themselves and living in an identity crisis, and they have given their double, their energetic double, their double hue, their double who height. So when we see the word white, we see W and we see height, right? But we are the W height. The W height is in the praxis, in the practice that grows from the axis. It's the wisdom that comes from the knowledge, right? It's the practice that comes from the axis, right? The W height. Now, lunar, of course, we know this lunar coming from Luna, representing the moon, right? And the moon is our planetary partner, the expression of the earth that is helping to calibrate galactic forces, universal forces in and out of this realm, right? The eye of Osset, the eye of Tehuti, right? The eye of Hansu, when you get into, you know what I mean? And there's many ways that the eye has played out as the moon, right? But the secondary light is about manifestation, crystallization, and the practical translation of intangible forces into the tangible realm. Now, wind. Wind, breath. We are conducting the wind. Oftentimes I explain to people out here who are so physical, they perceive themselves to be so physical. When you start dropping this deep metaphysical stuff on them, oh, I don't believe in that stuff. Well, do you believe in air? Do you believe in wind? Do you believe in breath? Right? Do you believe in that? Okay, how about this? If you didn't believe in breath, would you still be breathing? Right. So the question then is, who's serving who? Challenge. In this whole reality of so many spiritual systems and interactive systems and people having jobs that are about service, and then here we are having spiritual dialogue about being servants to the universe, servants to the Most High, servants to the supreme force by many names, including our own names. But then the question is, who is working for who? Now, I could get real deep into who is the neter. Interestingly enough, the second neter on the Manjet boat of Ra. Who is the neter that sang reality into existence? Who is the love song of the neteru? So we can play around all. Matter of fact, going into Leo, right? The Sphinx and the body of a lion. Well, the lion wasn't called Leo in those times. The lion of ancient Kemet is who? The Sphinx is who? So now the head, who is serving who, right? The mystery of yourself is in your breath, right? The Hebrew word for breath is rawuh, right? Breath, which interestingly enough, breath also means spirit. So the breath is the spirit. Question, oh physical beings, even to those who are not tuned into the ma'ata physics, the metaphysics, those who are not tuned into the spiritual world, and us, and a part of us that is, human, physical, dependent personality. Who is serving who? Do we understand that so often we acknowledge that we would not be alive without our breath? How much have we given back to breath for all breath has given us? Know the ledge. Now the ledge. What is the practice given back to not only breath, but an acknowledgement for where the breath comes from? What's given back? Everybody take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, in through both nostrils. Yeah, smooth, full breaths. Do another one. Tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, in through both nostrils. Oftentimes, when I do deep breaths, I rock my body, I roll my shoulders. I deliberately feel the breath come all the way down into my left side, where my left kidney is, going down into my pelvis. I deliberately feel the breath come down into my right side, down into my right side by my intestines and all down into my pelvis. I breathe deliberately into my lungs and filling it up where my clavicle is on my left and my right side. When I take deep breaths, I make sure I feel it up in my neck, all up in the pit of my neck. Fill your body with breath. Humble your physical form to the power of the spirit that is associated with your breath. What are we aware of? We are aware that fire is fed by the power of breath and oxygen, activated prana, plasma, right? Plasma is the living light supported by breath. Hence, Genesis chapter 2, today is Ken 2, Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, the breath of life was breathed into man, and man became a living soul. Big deal. It's a big deal that we live as living souls. In acknowledgement, stand, live every day like that. A lot of times I'm gifted to be the only brother or one of the only brothers at gatherings of women. And sometimes in those gatherings, conversations about men will happen, especially in like the poetry world. Men this, men that. And I giggle and I laugh and I'll comment. And sometimes I'll, receive the responses I get. They feel me, I'm a harmonic being, so it's never really a big polarized thing for me. But I do acknowledge the polarity of being divine masculine. However, I also melt it back into the now. And I explain to them, yes, I am here in masculine form, but I'm a living soul. So you can say whatever you want about men. I'm cool with that because I was a man before the breath of life transformed me. And so everyone listening here, let's make an acknowledgement. Say to yourself, the breath of life has transformed me. Rub your body, touch yourself. Think about all the ancestors, the hundreds of thousands of beings that work together to make sure that you're here right now. And say, the breath of life has transformed us. We are not men. We are not women. We are living souls in divine masculine and feminine form. When I say we are not, that's very important because sometimes there's a very big power in saying no to acknowledge what you know. Yeah, you N-O to N-O-W so you can K-N-O-W. Interestingly enough, K is kingdom, the kingdom degree. K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. The 1 and the 1 are the 2 that we're dealing with today. Right? That 2 is the white wind, the white lunar wind, right? The kingdom now, K now. No. But sometimes you gotta know I am not what you've called me. I'm a living soul. But then there's the exercise of how you challenge yourself with that type of consciousness. Are you today? Is it? Listen, this will be the most powerful 260. There will be no 260. I can stand on that for shizzle, but I say that for everybody. I, us, you, we. This will be the most powerful 260. It will be the most transformative. I'm so glad that discipline. White lunar wind challenge. Let me get to my notes because I can just be cooking. Okay, I actually got into some of this stuff already. Let's talk about polarity a little bit here, right? It says I polarize in order to communicate, right? I polarize be sounded. I know people hear it and be like, we repeat a lot of stuff in MIMEC as our affirmations. I affirm and da, da, da. These things is act. I polarize as an action. I polarize as an action. That means that on purpose and with reason, in an orderly way, you understand that, hey, am I being in order to my divine polar opposite? Am I in order with the divine feminine? Then I gotta get in order. If I would apply pressure, then am I ready to receive the pressure that I'm given? On the other side of acknowledging that is the transformation, is the transformation. On the other side of that acknowledgement and those actions is the transformation. And look at the world right now. You think you got time to sit still and be the same person? You think you got time to just, I'm going to get it together? You think you got time for that? I challenge you. That's what I'm here for. Think about your fire ritual. What is your fire ritual? What is your water ritual? Right? What is your fire water ritual? Right? Right? What deal with that? You know, do you have your fresh candles? You know, when's the last time that you sat right with your candles? You know what I'm saying? You know, do you do the bathtub with the candles by the, you might do candles around the bathtub, right? Fire and water, right? You know what I mean? What's the challenge with what type of challenge do you give yourself with that time? When's the last time? Some of us have been taking showers so long we ain't even bathing, right? Accept the challenge. Look at the polarities. Earth and air. When's the last time you had your bare feet on the earth, right? Challenge your breathing. How many jumping jacks can you do? Find out. Don't play with it. Find out how many jumping jacks you can do. Bare feet on the earth too. Don't play with it. Don't worry about no ants. No excuses. That's the thing about facing a challenge. What are we going to do? Watch these lunatics ruin the planet and sit around half-stepping? Nah, it's no time for that. Consider your high and your low, your inside and your outside, right? How your body looks. Do you want to be more toned? Do you want to be able to go up and down the steps easy? What happens if ain't no elevators working? Your grandmom is on the 13th floor. Buildings on fire. You got kids to get 3 floors up. Can you get up them 3 like why not? I challenge you. But and more important, you challenge you, but I am you. Right? I am you. I'm only here for that. Right? You're electric and you're magnetic. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Your electric body. People want to be attractive, right? Even for MIMEC, I'm not around enough, but sometimes I wonder about marketing. A lot of times I'll ask Rachel, where can I get an easy link to make sure that anytime something is coming up, I can send it out to people? I don't know, though. It might be 30,000 people in here. It might be 3, but the ancestral power resonating through them affects 30,000. I don't know. But the challenge, It's our electric body. Is our electric body shining like it's supposed to? Why not? Do we acknowledge how important the magnetism is that comes along with that shine? These are the things. Personally, too, a lot of us got businesses, right? I just brought it to the big picture because being a challenger is what I'm here for. But even with our websites and our businesses and our things we want to get out there, with my music, the 2 songs y'all heard today, God Is and All About Inspiration, don't nobody know them songs. I hope that we can play them more here on MIMEC. But on the real, don't nobody know them songs. Why? Because I haven't been electric to get the magnetic. Hearing other people come out with albums and being like, man, ain't no, my friends don't listen to none of my stuff. Man, is your electricity on? And how do you expect to be magnetic if your electric ain't working? I polarize, do it on purpose, sitting around hoping and wishing, but you're not lit. The breath lights the fire. Breathe, keep your fire lit. Sound and sight, right? I'm big on when I be tapping into YouTube stations and hearing people dropping science on stuff. But I be like, it don't sound right. Interestingly enough, a lot of times it don't sound right. To me, it don't be looking right when it don't be sounding right. You know? Then I gotta check myself sometimes. I'd be like, man, do I look like I sound? Like, you know what I'm saying? These are things to check ourselves by. And I'm growing, I'm evolving, I need help. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful that I got, Goddess, soul, sister, priestess, Mut Ma'at, Nefer Habiballah to help me with these digital images. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I cut that, pick that image, look kind of, thank you, Mut. Like, yo, thank you. Because, you know what, sometimes we can be so into ourselves, we don't even understand how royal we could, would, and should show up, right? Now, I'm also going to tap into this another way. We talked about Lunar, right? And, all the amazing calibration that comes from the universe conducting itself to the planet Earth and us through the lunar cycles that play out as the 13 tones, right? But overstanding lunar time and lunar beings as lunatics, well, let's consider that we're all lunatics, right? And we're all functioning in lunar time, right? And then we see some of the issues that happen when you try to squeeze the soul into the body, right? In the tablet of sacred creation, in one of my spiritual systems, the ancient Sumerian Anunnaki conversations, they talk about the supreme being Anu and the creation of our type of being from the Etherian plane. And they talk about the circle and the square, and how the circle represented the infinite being, the eternalness of the soul, and how Anu made the circle from full to empty. He extracted the infinite life force from the circle and turned the circle inside out. And then the turning of the circle inside out became the square. I'm going to show you this on paper for those of y'all who can look at the screen. So you got the circle. I'm going to draw the circle up top. And then I'm going to put a cross section in the circle. And then I'm going to show you the square as the circle turned inside out, right? And so a lot of y'all are familiar with this shape, but this up top is the circle with the cross section, right? I'm gonna get to put my light on there. It's too bright. Okay, that's the circle with the cross section, right? And then the square, after the circle is made empty, turned inside out, is on the bottom. Now you can see how the reflection which when we get into white mirror, when we get into white mirror, I'm ready to cook for y'all on that wizard science. But that square with the four quadrants of the circle locked inside of it still have the same 360 degrees turned inside out. One is infinite limitless, one is infinite with the perfect structure and limitation, right? Then it is said that Anu put the soul back inside of the square, right? Which was other beings who were supreme beings in his Etherian form. When he did that, they was like, yo, this dude really is the L. Like any beings that was supreme like him, that doubted his scientific supreme mathematic ability, was like, whoa, right? So the center point is called the nukta, right? That nukta is really us. And the arches and the square are all the framework for us having this experience inside of the body. So I bring that up to say that when we talk about lunatics and being crazy, the soul inside of a limited form is, to some degree, insane. It's crazy. However, the next question is, so obviously lunatic and crazy does not necessarily mean insane. It doesn't mean having no capability for order, right? It says right here, I polarize in order. In order to what? In order to communicate. And I polarize in order to communicate. So the polarity of the eternal soul, infinite soul, inside of the conditions of the body is another polarity. How do I activate the supreme power inside of the limited form? I must need order. There must be a way to do it in order. In order to what? To Ka, spirit, breath, Amun, the unseen, which is really the supreme magnetic being, Ik, isn't white wind Ik? 8. What's today's date? Isn't today 828? Isn't this Ik right in between two eights? Ka Amun Ik 8. And here I am talking to you on my mom's galactic birthday, on the white lunar wind. All of this is our consciousness coming forward. Everybody seeing, hearing, feeling this moment. You call these harmonies into manifestation because you've already faced some challenges. You've already polarized in order to communicate your eternal self into your physical form. We're delivered by it already, but we got more to do. Let's get cooking. Stabilizing breath. Woo! Stabilizing the breath of life. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. How do we know that? How can you be so sure? I'm sure. Because I've seen people self-destruct before. And more will self-destruct. Because they're their own problem. Why? Because I'm polarizing in order to communicate and stabilize breath. I choose to be my own solution. We choose to be our own solution. And at that choice, anybody who's bringing us a problem has chosen to be their own problem. Yeah, white wind and white mirror, real close friends. In fact, I mean, there's a whole other thing about the moon reflecting the sun as a mirror right? That's the whole thing about like that gets into like when you get to like Ra'et and Offset getting the sacred name from Ra. Oh, really? Okay, so I mean, what's going on there? Anyway, I'm guided by the power of timelessness. So lunatic, I don't want to miss this point. Lunatic, people get lunatics because and going back to the holy tablets and the creation story, from the blackness created from the blackness in the beginning there was the blackness. From the blackness we created light. The light created subjects. No. From the blackness we created light. The light created subjects. No. The light created objects. Yes, right. Okay, let me get it in order. From the blackness, we created light. The light created objects. The objects created subjects. The subjects created subjection. I'm going to say that again. From the beginning was the blackness. From the blackness was created light. The light created objects. The objects created subjects. The subjects created subjection. Lunatics. The lunatics of the world are people who are caught up in the subjection of subjects and objects. Their inability to be objective, i.e., say no, is why they don't know themselves as the light and have not been able to challenge themselves to then go from light to the infinite source of the blackness or darkness, or to understand the melanin, the primordial love force, life force, the Amun, Amunet, the Kek, the Keket, the He, the Noon, the Noonet, right? The eight Ogduads. You know what I mean? The 8 polarities. It says Ka Amun Ik 8, right? Here we are at 828. The so-called Gregorian calendar is BS in a lot of ways. But supreme mathematics always have a story to tell. It's just perceptions. It's just angles and angels, right? So supreme mathematics always got a story to tell, and they always align when you're doing just fine. Going back to lunatics, so if all of us are lunatics, but we're not all caught up in subjection, and we're not all caught up in being subjected to subjects or being subject to objects, then what are we lunatics about? We're crazy about life. We're crazy about the breath of life. So yeah, we be doing breathing exercises, and we be chanting, and we be sun gazing, and we be working out. We be getting lit on purpose. Crazy about eternity. Some of the most talented people we know seem crazy, but the way they acknowledge the breath, the way they challenge themselves to be masters at what they do, it's a big deal. Today is a day to accept the challenge of mastery. White lunar wind, W height, right? W to the height. Lunar wind, right? Get some of that full moon energy. You know what I mean? Who is working for who? Humble yourself. Make your body honor your breath. Understand that your breath has been breathing breath through every ancestor you know and love. It's been flowing the whole time. Heartbeat synchronizing universal rhythms of super microscopic breaths through your circulation, through the circulation of your mother, like my mother, who is a white lunar wind, circulated her breath to me for me to be able to breathe this conversation to you right now. And this is my 52nd year. So this is my convergence year. So this 260 gonna be something special. To give it back is to give forward. To give back is to give forward. We talk about all that breath has given us. It's time to give back to breath. To give back is to give forward. But the way I wrote it, though, if y'all can see that, I use the letter two. To give back is to give forward. What? To give back is to give forward. Didn't I say two twice and four once? What's 2 plus 2 plus 4? 8. Ka Amun Eek 8. It's all mathematics, family. Stay true and upgrade your mathematic relationship with your physical form. And you know what? On the real, yeah. Is that it? Is that all? Did I get through all my notes, y'all? I love you. Hold up. Make sure I'm acting right because I don't want to skip nothing. But I think we got this thing. Yeah. You know, we are empowering our etheric form. We are understanding that the inner fire that comes along with this breath of life that we are allowed to have, you know, through the quintuplicated ether of Ta, Mu, Nefu, Set, and Hu. Ta, earth, Mu, water, Nefu, breath, Set, fire, and Hu, ether. You know, and the functioning of Ta, Mu, Nefu, Set, Hu, quintuplicated ether through our form, activated breath of life. Interesting that air, breath, which is invisible, creates fire, which is visible, but still immaterial. But that immaterial plasma is the etheric light that charges up the tangible form and created the electromagnetic form that activated the bacteria and the dust of the earth into a living conscious form that is the tangibility of who we are in this moment. May we all use this amazing opportunity to live in the now and use the power of the white lunar wind to be right in reality and use every second chance, right? Not CHA. Well, CHANCE is relevant, but I'm talking about second CHANTS, because every chance, every chant, all our chants open up us to have more of a chance. You understand? And this is all the breath of life communicating through. If the heart was the first, the throat is the second. So yeah, unto you, unto you, unto you, I say peace. May your lunatic show that you are crazy about life. And that's why you love it. That's why you reinforce it. And that's why you have come to be a melanated immortal making evolutionary changes. Amun Rehuta. You can catch me at Temple of Soul on Instagram. The website is zodiac.com. But I'm your brother. Hey, me and my beautiful Ken 108. You will see us at the convergence at the Blue Ridge Mountains. And hey, I love you to breath. Have a beautiful day, y'all. Peace.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh my goodness. Y'all heard what he said. He's gonna be at the convergence. Okay, y'all. That's not a surprise to me. Him and my sister Rachel are gonna be in the space. That's what's up. Brother Amun, okay, you as always, you brought that. Brother, you brought it, and you brought it in and again and again. So definitely much gratitude to you. I couldn't help. I was in the chat. I saw other people in the chat. I was doing my best to, put all the kudos up, on the screen and everything. But you flowed that through like only we know you will do. Y'all, you got to make sure you support. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
put that say that website or put it in the chat so that I can update that. I don't
Or
know why I never knew that website, but y'all check out his Instagram for real at Temple of Soul.
I got you.
Thank you. Temple
Temple of S
OFSOL.
O L.
And definitely put out his write down the cash
Web.
app. Got that right? Soul crafted.
Yes, and the cash app is Temple $ Temple of
Okay.
SOL.
Okay.
And you
So
know,
I put that
I
too.
know my boy Orisha Stone is getting loose with y'all, but by all means, y'all already know your brother gets real nice with the talismans and the
I was
creations.
gonna put
So
that out there. I was gonna put that out there too.
yeah,
Okay.
if y'all want if y'all want the conversation to just wear, you know what I'm saying? Hey, watch what happened. I got something good for you.
Shay, I'm gonna show you something in just a second. As soon as I finish updating this website right quick. Um, cause yeah, I'm about to show you some works by our very own brother Amun. And let's see, website. I'm gonna put this on the ticker just quick so y'all can write down this website and make sure you visit. All right, Brother Moon, because he got some works for you as well. We got Brother Orisha putting his stuff through our meta shop, and soon to be, we're gonna have Brother Moon putting
Yeah,
his things through the website. So
sure.
I gotta show y'all something that he blessed me with during my initiation. Okay, let
Mm-hmm.
me show y'all this right quick.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, wait.
Okay. See
Mm.
my grid up
Woo.
in, you might not be able to see that, but yes, I don't mind showing it to you because
I
we have
love it.
bonded. This is my scepter that I use
Mm.
during all my ceremonies, and I carry it with me when I go on my trips. It's with me when I travel. This is my balance. This is my light. This is my guide. Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the piece. I love it. It felt so good to create. It felt so good to create, and I'm so glad. Like just seeing it brings such a smile to my face. Cause yeah, like my creations, they my babies. Like they're love songs in form. You know what I
I
mean?
say.
They're love songs in form, and so when I see those pieces, when I see people wearing my pieces everywhere, I I just I hear a love song that's like a song that I wrote years ago that had a real catchy hook. You know what I mean? And like I don't
Yes.
hear it that often because I don't know. I live in a I'm a 19, so I live in a kuwak. I live in a blue storm of cosmic songs. You know what I'm saying? So
I
I
say.
hear one of them songs and that joint is singing a nice little ditty. That joint is some sacred. Oh, the Prince of Peace, won't you hear our plea? I love it.
And it sings too. It sings too. So I got my sound in it and everything.
Yes.
So definitely much gratitude. Y'all look forward to this integration that we'll be having with Temple of Soul and the meta shop with Melanated Immortals. Make sure you continue to visit. Make sure you actually tap into our website. All right. We have jewels and we have artifacts and we have um, paraphernalia, you name it, where your frequency, where your melanated immortals shifting the global consciousness, whatever, drink out of it, write in it, do it. Just be about it. But we definitely want to give honor to the spirit being that we are in this plasma. Definitely want to take the time out to bliss each other in all that we do and enjoy our creation. So we're going to close out with some beautiful jobs. We're going to finish that all about inspiration for us this afternoon. Peace and wholeness.
Child of the corn, my moves intensify. We visualizing often the infinite mighty who's stalking the myth. Feel like I'm Spartacus with untarnished armor to kill the dishonest honor of men. I'm growing up again. Why blow your luck when there ain't a soul that can fuck with them? Play your role and get stuck in it. You must admit there's nothing better than lasting forever and take control of your punishment.
You're supreme, you in your spot.
Like a rock in a slingshot.
Whoa,
let me go.
No doubt.
And I won't stop. Continuing my path to my greatest destination.
From nowhere
to everywhere. It's all about inspiration. Yo, Scorp, you in the spot.
Like a rock in a slingshot. Let me go. And I won't stop, continuing my path to my greatest destination.
Nowhere
to everywhere, it's all about inspiration. It feels fresher anyway from when the soul that is done. Still inspired by native tongues back when hip-hop was fun. They be jamming up the energy, an industry of enemies. I still dream of compilations like Black Dog with Diamond D, JLEC and Laura Hill on a 9th Wonder beat. Supreme Soul and Scorp cooking, even glaciers feel heat. Artists making dopeness for the people to witness. Charging with creative power, keeping the love before business.
When it was been diminished, walking functions addendum. Talking's nothing until it graduated to action. Scorpions gave me the flask of wisdom, upgraded my status, symbol of making my passion. Live through these fables of madness, then it's my way to surpass the limits of breaking entrapments. No labels attached to them. All day I react accordingly. Escorts the scene without a single trace to get straight. I'm made to the grave and known forever paving my way.
And we gotta connect. It's an electromagnetic effect, a fresh vibe for a new world. Yeah, with the elders respect. We are a solar power hovercraft riding on wind, mining crypto, helping children from the grill to Berlin. A Santa Monica sunset, Sonny Patterson speech, a freestyle of fellowshipping within a mortal technique. Spirals of spirit speaking, substance, symmetrical breath. Excited about whatever's next, no stress, just do your best.
Yo, Scorp, you in the spot.
Like a rock in a slingshot. Let me go.
No doubt.
And I won't stop, continue on my path to my greatest destination.
From nowhere
to everywhere, it's all about inspiration. Soul, you in your spot.
Like a rock in a slingshot.
For sure.
Let me go.
No doubt.
And I won't stop, continuing my path to my greatest destination.
From nowhere
to everywhere, it's all about inspiration.